Yo, 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 what is going on, IK Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today we are back again, and I am so excited to talk about this video today, which is going to be covering the kind of IK petition that we started since version 1.8 and 1.9 have been released. And again, we're going to go over a lot of specific bits here, right? We're going to cover, right, why, how did it start, right? Why did we want to put it together? What are some of the goals and the objectives? And then we're also going to give you a status update, right? Which is a pretty big update that'll be given towards the end of the video. I'm also going to put time cards in as well because we have got a response as far as what are some of those next steps based on where we're at. And then we'll also share a link that I'll have in the description of the video below, maybe the pinned comment, as far as where you can at least go and get information to take a look at what the petition is, right? What it states, the kind of calling that it is for, what it includes, and then of course, if you want to sign based on going and taking a look yourself. Before we get started, of course, as always, make sure you guys sub, like, ring that notification bell, and if you want to join and be a part of our conversation, you can hit up our Discord, which will also be in the description and pinned comment down below. All right, so the idea of the petition, right, and the word petition, I understand, can come off as mixed for some, but I really want to clarify this, right? The idea of this starting was actually from some of the content creators and press officers. As some of you may or may not know, right, we have a separate Discord server that's just specifically for those people to interact with some of the mods and then some of the IK team as well. And it's fantastic. Again, it's a great avenue for us to have a resource to get clarifications, to have communications and conversations with them, and then also get information shared along with announcements as well internally. Now, the conversation initially started off with some of the people there, specifically Lily Lay, Jestar, and then myself eventually chimed in. And it kind of just started off with us talking about our feelings and I'm sure to some, right, some of the frustrations and our criticisms, if you will, on how we felt about 1.8. And then, again, kind of the hammering of 1.9. And then from there, we ended up starting getting more interactions, right? People like, and I think I have a list here of just some, right? Because I wanted to make sure I didn't leave anyone's name out. But again, so people like Ravenger, Zealous, Seas, Alphaba, OTB Games, Everest, Eterno, right? These are just some names, not inclusive of all, that kind of chimed in early on and then a little bit later as well. And it eventually got to a point where we threw out the ideas of, well, hey, maybe we could do something like a petition, basically a way where we can just organize players to say, hey, here's the information we're presenting, right? Here's some of the points, some of the concerns from the community, things that we just really want an opportunity to address. And that's when I believe Lily ended up going on and kind of starting this petition. I'm going to show it to you now, which we'll go over here, and you can see there's 522 signatures so far. And again, the initial draft, I should say, was started by Lily. I worked on it with her. We corroborated on that to kind of get what the final draft is now. So it's been a pleasure working with her, with Jestar as well. Obviously, we know he's busy, but when he is around, very engaged and active. So it's been awesome working with them on this, and some of the other community members. And some of the things here, right, and to really hammer this home, this is more of, hey, this is, like we said, some of the big points from the community that we would really love to present and to show to the developers, to the IK team, that, there's a lot of people that feel this way about the game and the direction that the game has been trending in since 1.8 and then now 1.9. And we'd love an opportunity to speak to someone or peoples from the game team, right, from our community representatives, just to highlight these things, to have an open conversation, a dialogue, if you will, about what some of the concerns are for many, right? It's not just some. And really, that is the main point, the takeaway from this, is to show them how many people feel a specific type of way, and we'd love just to present that, have an opportunity to have a conversation about that, right? This is not, hey, this absolutely needs to happen. These are demands, and it's going to be this way or the highway. It's nothing like that, right? Anyone who's watched my content for a while, even when I'm giving constructive feedback or criticisms, right? It's never done in a malicious way, in an ill-intended way, right? It is the hopeful, right? That hopeful optimism. But let me go over a few points here from the petition, right? So again, we have our kind of introduction or summary and background, and some of the main points here, right, is kind of doing things like postponing, right? Asking for this. Kind of postponing the new level caps from 50 to 60, right, for at least 12 months. And there's other details here that you guys can read through. Reworking some of the Tower of Knowledge skills, right, from 1.8 to 1.9, not only with them increasing a lot, but some of them kind of being a little gated, along with then kind of the specifics that they added where you can only have certain talk skills for some immortals. Artifacts being harder and harder to max, right, with kind of the goalposts being moved for higher level caps increases, and then releasing immortals, right. The hope here is to kind of try and maybe have some kind of a conversation around having like a ratio, right, where it's like one free to play, one pay to wall, and then pay to win, or kind of spender gated immortal, and then that can be distributed however they see fit, whether it's something like to the wheel, God, my brain is flustering right now, King of the Hill, to do God, what is that? I always forget if it's Wheel of Fortune, and then whatever the other one is that I'm blanking on so hard, right? But essentially daily deals, right? That would be another one. And so just kind of figuring out some of these things are kind of what our points are. Then at the bottom, right, we say next steps, right? Once we have enough signatures, right, we've collected that we feel is appropriate, right, we'll send this to the game team, right? And so this is kind of what this is. So if you're interested, like I said in the beginning of the video, right, there will be a link in that description and pinned comment. Again, if you want to read through this, if it's something you agree with, again, I'm just here to present the information, let you know what we're doing, right? And then I'm going to talk about two more things here. One is going to be what the current update and the result is, right, that we have so far, that we have been approved as well to say this. And then the second part I'm going to give you here towards the end after this is going to be kind of what my general feelings are on everything. So the update here, which I think is actually pretty big, is twofold. One, we did get confirmation that this petition, kind of what the points are here from the community, have been sent to the IK team. They have officially received it. They are aware of it. The second big point, and this is probably the bigger one here for the update, is that we have been told that there is an opportunity, a chance, to be very clear, of, and I'm just going to rehammer this home, the possibility of having a sit-down, a meeting, if you will, with either members of the IK team, to speak with some of us, the community representatives. And just to clarify that portion there with the community representatives, right, at the moment, it may be, for example, and this is just at minimum, again, right, because this is just us kind of, going off of what we just feel was really important to put out there. May just be someone like myself, might be Lily Lay, Jestar, right, that could just be the people, whether that's at minimum or at maximum, right. Again, the hope here is, if that comes to fruition, we would be able to have a conversation. And that could happen, from what we're hearing, as early as sometime in March, maybe early mid-March, right? Obviously, if that does happen. But it is, I would say, at least a potential stepping stone. And again, I understand at the same time I'm speaking in very kind of broad generalities, right, and the uncertainties as well. But it is something that we've heard, and I do feel that this is important to at least give you, the community, an update on, because a lot of people have put their faith in being willing to come out and to sign this, along with the hopes of something happening from it, right? My hope at minimum is just a conversation. Right, is just to have the opportunity to sit down and talk about these things and have an open dialogue, right? I do not have any expectations, or I should say realistic expectations, or demanding expectations that, these things absolutely need to change. Do I feel very strongly about them? Of course I do, as much as I would imagine the others and everyone that has signed this. But I'm just hoping for a starting point, right? Just to get to a starting line. And I think that's the most that we can ask for initially. Now, when it comes to my ending thoughts here, I do want to say that I absolutely love Infinity Kingdom, right? Most of you know, if you've heard me talk about it, I started playing Infinity Kingdom, shortly after stopping to play a previous Kingdom Builder. And I absolutely fell in love with Infinity Kingdom. Even though I started playing in beta around Server 4, after Server 4 had opened, I loved everything about it. It was aesthetically pleasing to me. Graphics, I think, were kind of very polished and updated just as much as they are now. It's very kind of minimalistic, which I really enjoy. Like, the screen isn't too busy. A lot of the features that you hear me talk about often as well, right, with having kind of the troop limitations that they have in the training grounds, right, is one of the biggest things for me. The fact that everything costs AP is fantastic, with the exception of one of the recent changes. But again, these are just some things that I really believe in the game because these features are in them. And the general direction I think the game is going is that it really hasn't even reached its ceiling. I personally think Infinity Kingdom could be so much bigger than it is. And for me, these are some of the reasons why I really believe in what this initiative is and kind of what we're hoping to bring forward. Now, with that being said, that is it for me. Of course, I would love to hear your thoughts, your comments, your feedbacks, right? Are you surprised on the updates that we gave? Are you surprised on how many people have signed this so far, right? Let me know anything and everything you guys are thinking in those comments down below. That is it for me. And the very last thing I'll say is that Lily should be providing an update on here as well. I know we were talking about it. I think it's just whenever she's going to have a moment to come on and update, but most likely there's going to be a notification here on this official landing page, but you'll probably see that later after this video is posted sometime. But that's it. Again, like I said, for me, I'm out. Until next time, I will catch you later.